Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder. It's not every day someone invents something that changes the game. I found out about this product that I'm talking to you about, and I had to try it. So I ordered a few, and after using it, I'm sold. Now we stock them on our trucks. It's called All Brace, and it will help you sell more service and buy you time until doors come in. There's never been a greater time for a product like this. Phil has video on his website of him cutting a door literally in half, installing the All Brace, and running it like nothing ever happened. It is literally incredible. One of the greatest selling videos I've ever seen. You're going to want to check it out at all-brace.com.
What's up, everybody? You got Ryan here with Torsion Talk Podcast, take 2, because Tamara was a little slow on the trigger today, getting the record button going. But luckily enough, we were only like 10 seconds in and not 30 minutes, because that would have been disastrous. So anyway, listen, she's not perfect, but she's close. Everybody say hey to Tamara.
Hello, my apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. 30 seconds is plenty fine. And if you guys have been following my podcast long enough, then you know for certain how I got into the industry was a little bit of a crazy story. I also believe people don't believe me. So I've got living proof on the podcast today. He is ancient. He is old. He may also have known Zeus back in the goddess days, and he's still alive. His name is Larry Conte. He is the owner of Aaron Overhead Door in California, currently Monterey. And Larry, how are you, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. And the goddess is my wife.
Yes.
Aww.
You have pulled that off very well.
So she's a bit younger than I am.
But you got game.
I got game.
You got game.
I may be on Medicare, but I'll still throw down.
All right. So Larry, if there's any part of this story that I do not recall correctly, because it's been a while, make sure we get it right. You can call me out. But so I don't even remember what year it was. Like 2000.
You started marketing for me back in 2006.
So I think I had started a marketing agency back in 2005.
Yeah.
I was brand new, doing it as like a night gig after work, and I had hired like college students all over the country to kind of like help me, which was a little frustrating because you bribe them with pizza and beer and then they don't show up, and they're very irresponsible. So it wasn't a great basis to build a company on, but some of them were very talented, and when they did show up, they did really good work. So
for your marketing, you're talking about for your marketing, right?
Yes.
So your cousin turned me on to you when I was in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistics training back in Minnesota, and she was actually in that training with me.
Julie,
yes.
Yep. Julie lived in Texas. She was a client of mine. She also was my cousin, or is my cousin. And you're talking about one of the sweetest people on the face of the earth. She's like one of the most amazing people you ever meet.
Yeah,
you guys met. She referred you to us. You reached out to us. Your parents were like in the process of retiring. And you were like, hey dude, I want to hit the ground running. Like, I want to build a new website. I want to do, rebrand, whatever it was. I know we built you a new logo, which is, we've now on probably like the 3rd or 4th variation of that since then, but built a website, did some SEO for you. And that's how we started building the relationship between you and I. And then, as I recall it, you just called too much all the time, checking in, and then we became friends.
Yeah, a lot. And then you were studying, and I supported you in that arena.
What was I
Uh,
studying at the time?
you were studying to be a pastor,
Oh yeah, seminary school.
seminary school, and you had to do a trip overseas. I remember I contributed $50, which was at the time for me, that was a lot.
Yeah, no, that
And
was good.
you helped me establish my website for Monterey Hypnosis Center,
Yep,
and then also for Aaron Overhead Door in San Jose and Monterey.
yep.
And I think it was 12 or 13 when my parents retired, and we really kicked it in.
Yeah.
And then you were having a challenge with a company that you were working with at the time, doing some marketing or some computer software stuff.
Yeah.
And you found out that there was some less
got
than
acquired.
integral things going on there. And
Yeah,
I remember
they got
you
acquired, and they were being a little funny. And so
Yeah.
I remember you and I talking,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it was your idea. Was it your idea? Start Aaron Overhead Door Atlanta?
Yeah, because you were having the challenge there. And the thing is that I think we're
Such a
kind of
stupid
kids.
idea, bro. I hate you.
You
I'm
know
kidding.
what? I think it was just like a challenge. Like you like challenging, right? Just like when
I
you beat
do
me in the
like
race
challenges.
cars, right?
Yeah.
You
Does
beat me
like
Oh.
challenges.
down in that race car
This
track.
deserves its own section of the show. So I'll just make sure that we like take a deep breath, pause, no interruptions at this very moment. This is probably the most critical part. So Larry and I are both big time trash talkers, but the thing is that Larry's not as good at me at racing cars. So we went to race go-karts as a challenge, and I won like I told him I would. I win every time I go go-kart racing. I very rarely, if ever, lose. So I just
I'd
want
like
to
a
make sure
rematch.
that we're on the same page. Dude, anytime, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to make that happen. If there wasn't for this
Yeah.
darn COVID baloney, we'd have done it already.
Yeah.
So back then, was when you came out here.
Yes.
When we talked about, okay, you want to start it up. You liked what I was doing. You liked how I was
Yeah.
growing the company. You were helping with the marketing, and then you said, "Well, I'll come out there." I said, "Come on," and you showed
Let
up.
me just, yeah,
We
let
spent
me
a week
fill in,
together, whatever that
a
was.
couple
Yeah.
gaps real quick though.
Yeah.
So before this happened, I think it's before this happened. Larry got diagnosed with cancer, right?
Yeah.
And then you kicked cancer's tail.
Yeah.
Good job.
Painfully.
Larry. Yeah, it wasn't easy. But
No.
I just want to say, like, for anyone who runs a business and is going through cancer and does what he did, is some of the, like, you got to be one of the strongest people I know, bro. Like, I still remember you, like, me seeing a picture of you. You look like you were gonna blow away, dude. You lost like half your body weight. Like, I remember talking to you on the phone some days and you were just completely wiped, and you're like, I'm going to do a spring change. I mean, I gained so much respect for you during that time. And I don't know that you even know any better. Like, that's just who you are. That's your DNA. But I think a lot of times we meet people and we don't know their journey. And like, we may look at you now and see that your girl drives a nice car and you might live in a nice house and whatever. And we think, oh, wow, you know, he's a business owner, he's whatever. But they didn't know the journey. They didn't know what it cost you to get to where you're at, because you sacrificed a lot, you know, financially. And then during this whole time, you also are willing to give and help and be such a great person to the community. So I just want to, like, this is, you guys want to know a lot of the reason why I'm the way I am. Larry played a big role in molding me as a human being, as a business owner. When I went out to California, so I told him, that I think I want to do this. He was telling me like margins on spring changes and everything. I was like, dude, I can do this. Did I know the names of tools, bro?
You didn't know anything.
I didn't know anything.
I'm surprised you even found your way here.
Dude, I was so lost when it came to garage doors. It was like,
I remember your big thing. You wanted to see that Zuckerberg's place in Santa Clara.
yeah.
And the 14-foot wall, right? We were there for 5 seconds. We had cars on top of guys with microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So he's like, man, come on out. I'll train you. So I go out. I literally flew in, like, I think Sunday night. I stayed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I flew out Friday evening or something like that. So I got 4.5 days of training. Did I not?
Yes.
And you trained me really well on motors, spring changes. We saw some funky stuff because y'all got some crazy stuff out there that we don't really have out here. But seeing all that crazy stuff, I think also helped me. I think I wound one spring by myself, maybe two, and then I assisted with an opener or two. And then I remember like getting writing down all the parts, or not the parts, but the tools I needed. That was a horrible thing because I didn't know what things looked like. So he's giving me the names of like, you need 7/16 socket, you need 1/2-inch socket, you need this, you need a wrench, you need this, you need that, you need an impact with this and that. And I'm like, dude, I've never even heard these terms before. Like Chinese language. Okay.
Yeah.
So I came back after 4.5 days of training and literally launched the company.
Yep. And you listen to the recordings of the phone calls.
Yes.
To help in training. You listen to the phone calls with my staff, with myself, to learn the lingo.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were here, we did that one spring change, and I actually, in all of the excitement, I put the springs on backwards.
I do believe I remember that.
I wound them up, they got all kinky looking in the door, but
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I did it until after I did it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I mean, I learned, yeah, but it was a good learning experience. But and other guys will probably like realize this, that when you're so used to doing everything by yourself, and then you're like, you got some new cat there, like asking a million questions, it's so easy to lose focus. And you're sitting there trying to think. Like, these guys get so good at doing repair that they don't even have to think about it. So when they think about it, it becomes like, what do I do? It becomes that second nature. Like it really does. And so when you do have somebody training, can be a little awkward.
Well, let's back up for a second as well, because back in 2009, when the crash happened, I pretty much lost, all my life's investment property. And in 2010, I was kind of flat. I was having a rough go, and you said, I'll always remember this for the rest of my life. You said, hey, what's your zip code? Oh, okay, 93940. Hang on. And you come back on the phone. You're going to Shoreline Church. Pick a time. 8:39, 10. Was it 8:30, 10 or 11? You're picking up 11:30. You're picking a time. I said, I am. I said, yeah, you're going to this church. I said, all right. So I started going to that church, and I think it was May of 2010.
I didn't even give you a choice. I just told you.
No, yeah, that's right. You did. And then in July, you said, hey, are you tithing? And I go, what's that? And he said, you said, I got nothing, right? You said, you got to give 10% of your income. And I'm going, well, okay, how do I do that? I asked you, I said, is that gross or net? And you said, do you want gross or net back from God? I'll remember that for the rest of my life. So shortly thereafter,
taught me that.
I'm writing checks to the church, but I'm writing them to God, right? It doesn't say the church, it says God. For $30. That check was no good on Sunday. And somehow, $30, somehow I found a way by Wednesday, because I know how to do it, to get that check. I can tell you right now. If you want to read the patches, Malachi 3:10. Follow that, and things will work for you like you won't believe.
You've been blessed, bro.
I totally been blessed. Yeah,
we both have, for sure.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I play golf.
You can't outgive God. Like, I know this isn't like a Christian podcast, but there are principles in business that I swear, if you live by them in the Bible, it will transform your business. And we talk a lot about culture on here. Like a lot of that comes from biblical principles. And Proverbs, in my opinion, is the absolute best business book on wisdom and leadership of any book in the world. Like I strongly recommend reading Proverbs. I've read it probably 6 times.
Well, the Bible is the operating manual for the thing between our ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. And life.
So here we are,
pastor.
4.5 days. I don't know my
Oh, yeah.
parts. I don't know anything. I really don't. I really don't know. Like you had to call and open an account for me with Amar.
I did.
Under your own credit line.
I did.
And I had to, I had a truck already, but it was not ideal for what I was doing, but it works. My first job was a tune-up that I sold for like $129 or $150, something like that. I was like, man, I can do this. I went there and that was the best tune-up. I swear to God, nobody has gotten a better tune-up than that one right there. Like that was the best tune-up you'd ever seen in your life. I probably spent like 45 minutes there tuning that door up. Like that was the jam. Then my second one was a friend of mine who was like, hey, I want to help you out. My dad needs a door. Sold me I sold, I think, a 9x7 or 8x7 with a motor. I felt really confident with the motor, but I realized quickly after selling it. And first of all, I know no one in the garage door industry except for Larry. That is it. I don't know anyone local. I don't have any employees. And he's 3 hours behind me. So you can imagine when I'm at an early morning appointment and I need help, this dude was picking up the phone and getting on FaceTime with me. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how much of a blessing he was for me. So likewise. Here I am. How long did you remember it took me to install that door and motor that day? That first
about a week.
A week?
It was 11 hours. 11 hours.
Yeah.
And how many times did I try to like that was probably the one day where I really genuinely feel like Larry was starting to get frustrated with me because I was getting angry with him for not telling me how to install a garage door. Like not his fault, but here I am trying to read the instructions of an Amar, how to install a garage door, which you got another funny story about that. In case we haven't mentioned it on here, you remember never.
Yeah.
So here I am, I'm opening this box and there's 1,000,000 screws. Now, those screws may mean something to someone who's been in construction or worked with their hands or whatever, but I'm looking at them like, holy cow, what are these screws and why are there so many different types of screws and where do they go? So first of all, I'm speaking at an event at Professional Door Association in Northeast. And I was telling this story and I said, the only 2 people in our industry who haven't installed a door at this point in time was me and the guy who wrote the instructions for Amar. And the guy who wrote the instructions for Amar happened to be in the crowd. And he raised his hand and told me, I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He's like, I literally wrote them. I promise. And I was like, bro, really? Like, really? I'd have been better off if you would have put them in Spanish only because it was miserable. And so, but yeah, that was one of my almost embarrassing moments. So, yeah, Larry was always there for
bad.
me.
Just open the cover on a keypad. It's still bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's easier ways. There's definitely an easier way. We can make it easier. But that was his point was, do you want me to make it so easy that anybody can install them? And I was like, well, I mean, at that time, yes, that was my answer. Yes, please. I could repair doors at that point in time. And then I still remember the first time I went to a door out of track, you trying to explain to me how to get it back in was also very frustrating. I had a lot of frustrating moments, a lot of times where I doubted my decision. I mean, you guys have to remember.
Yes, that's really true.
I sat in air conditioning for 12-hour days when I wasn't traveling to exotic places and hanging out with really cool people, and I was making a crap ton of money. I quit all that. I quit all of that to work in the freaking 100-degree heat, doing something I'd never done before, with tools I had never seen before. And my only lifeline was in California.
And still is. Well, you probably have more now. I'm still here for sure.
I am so blessed to have the resources that I have now. But yes, yeah, really cool. I enjoyed my time out there. We went to Carmel Valley. I'll never forget going to this one house and just like I couldn't even think straight. Like he was all trying to talk about garage doors, and I think I just looked at the guy like 5 times. Was like, "This is your house? This is your view? Like you live here?"
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I was standing in the driveway. I was just like, you wake up every day and you walk out to this, and it's just like beautiful mountains. And he's got the most picturesque view of the world. Like I was just like, holy cow, it's freaking crazy. And Larry was all trying to do business and talk to the guy, and the guy was like laughing at me because I was so in shock. But beautiful country out there. So first of all, I know I've told you before, but thank you, Larry, for always supporting me and dealing with me, because I mean, I literally knew absolutely nothing. And it's shocking to me now how I was able to do things. It wasn't by my will, I don't think. I mean, it's kind of like if you throw somebody in the deep end, they'll figure it out, right? And that's kind of what happened. But, we train people now for like 6 months to a year. And then,
Takes a couple years.
Then we ease them in, right? So, yeah, it's crazy what we were able to accomplish.
Consistency in everything, including price, reliability, quality, not just quality, but great quality control. These are things that describe Somer USA. Somer's not some startup company, not one that you need to be worried about going out of business in the near future. Somer and their family of businesses are $200 million companies. They're in over 100 countries, and they have locations in 20 countries. This is a large organization who stands behind their product and works through integrity. And there's not another company out there willing to drop what they're doing and help you out like Somer. These guys are awesome. Not only have they been loyal to the Torsion Talk podcast, they've been loyal to the technicians and the owners of the companies who install their product. In my opinion, if you're not at least offering Somer as an additional option, you're cheating yourself. Listen, first-time dealers, I've got a special for you. If you buy 10 or more Somers between now and the end of the season 6, while supplies last, we will offer you free shipping. You have no more excuses. The prices are great. The product is amazing. Go check out Somer USA and order 10 for free shipping. I'm going to tell you guys a marketing secret. You want to gain more social media likes, shares, and follows? People love unique and cool projects. There are no better photos to share than the ones on Schweiss Doors social accounts. These guys post some incredible things. Make sure to go there and like and share their Facebook and Instagram post with your business account. So if you like their business account, you can share their post. The bifold doors are awesome, and they're doing some great projects that will go viral on social media if you share them. Go right now to Schweiss Door on Facebook and check out some of the projects they share and like their page. Oh, and don't forget, no one builds a better bifold than Schweiss.
It's crazy that you guys accomplished that over the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, some of your employees call me from time to time on a job wanting to know, hey, what do we do here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a while. Hopefully, since any of my employees have called you now, but
Yeah, it's been a while. That was in the beginning, sure.
yeah, we were definitely. I was hiring anybody who knew anything about a screwdriver, a hammer, or a drill. I was like, "Do you know what these are?" And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "You're hired," and we put them to
That
work.
wasn't that. I mean, that wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean you're
No, and
talking
look,
August
look,
2015. That was this August will be 7 years.
and look at the growth.
Yeah, 2 locations, 20 people almost, and yeah, we're rocking and rolling.
Look at my vehicle list.
Oh, I know. I hate that list.
Nice.
That,
That just
that's
looks like a big old liability to me.
well, I had what I had in 2010. I had one truck and one guy, and now that Malachi 3:10. Look it up.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I have to say, after all these years, me looking back, I mean, you and I don't think alike. I mean, we do in the people sense, but in the business sense, we have some different philosophies. I'm very much a tech nerd. I don't want to be part of the process. As a matter of fact, like I would enjoy just kind of like sitting in my office, refreshing the numbers and texting the guys, congratulations, they do a good job. Uh, you're more in the field helping out. You're on the phones, like you're kind of like juggling a lot in some cases. But the one thing that I do believe that I really took away from my time out there, and now that I really know garage door repair as well as I do, I'm like super thankful that you did things the right way. Not just the way you treated your customers, but actually took a lot of pride in fixing it correctly. Because I could have very easily come back here, and when I was out there, you taught me like don't cut corners, the little things are important, the pigtails on the sensors, clean wires when you're running them back to the motor. That was like a big deal for you. You went into all the little things that make a difference, and that helped me so much. I think when in the grand scheme of things, just making sure that not only did I do the job, but I did the job right and clean and in the best interest for the customer. And so I think that was really cool because I meet a lot of people and I see a lot of crap, and I've even hired people.
There's a lot of crap
who don't do a good job and don't take a lot of pride in it. So, thanks for doing a good job and training me the right way. The standard is high.
It also goes along with life, the little things, somebody's down on the corner. I carry like a half a sandwich. A lot of times I'll just give it to them rather than put money in their hand because that's silly. But things like open a door for somebody, things like that, picking up a piece of trash when you see it, little things in life that, the garage door business, we have to be good at. If we were selling paper bags, we'd be doing the same thing. We'd be quality bags. We'd be marketing properly. We'd be, taking care of our employees and our customers. Wouldn't matter if it's garage doors or, rubber bands. It's the same philosophy and taking good care of our customers and doing it right. Being fair.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Got some exciting news. Do you want to talk about that or you want to leave it off the table? I know sometimes you're private about certain stuff.
Well, it all depends on which part you're talking about. Bring it.
San Jose.
Oh yeah. San Jose. We just sold our San Jose location.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah. Yeah. They were talking to me for about 2.5 years. And I was going, no, I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell. No, never mind. And the funny thing is that it got to a point where there were a couple of guys on the phone with me and I was telling them what we were doing there. And he's going, well, we don't believe you actually. And I said, well, I got it here. They said, well, this was a Thursday afternoon. And they came over on Friday morning, 11 o'clock. We sat here and I showed them, this is what we did. And they went, he's actually doing this. And so we were in the bank, 5 o'clock at Wells Fargo. It was closing. We were in there, they're writing me a check. And just so happens the next couple of days, I found out that some people over here locally in Watsonville, A1 overhead door, wanted to retire. So I acquired that company.
That was a mom and pop shop.
That's why I have
confused.
That's why I have
with
this
the other
big
end.
long list now. Added a few more few more trucks and people to the crew here. So we have, full benefits now. We've come a long ways in a short amount of time, such as yourself. I mean, you are impressive. And I know we talk about numbers a lot, and we started out competing to see who could tithe more. And I still go after it, right? So we haven't talked about the numbers for as far as that part, the tithing part goes, but your numbers are right up there. They're wonderful numbers. You got a great business going.
So just in the past, 6 months, right? You sold San Jose.
2 months.
2 months, and then acquired a company in a neighboring county. So you're physically based in Monterey, which is absolutely gorgeous. If you guys have never been to Monterey, California before, or even if you don't plan to, Google it, go to images, because it's absolutely gorgeous out there. And then, so he acquired another business, and that's turned out to be a really good thing. There's a lot of acquisitions going on. You've experienced both selling and buying. What advice would you give some of the guys that listen to the podcast about selling and or buying?
Well, the first of all, is to be honest about everything. Straightforward, do your books right, do your taxes, quarterly taxes right. My wife, before she married me, said, I never paid quarterly. She says, if I'm gonna marry you, you got to pay quarterly taxes. I said, all right. So I did that. So I did
That was
that,
her only demand, bro. That's
but she said we were going to talk about like certain things. So, so I'm blessed, right? You know this.
yes.
She stood by me when I went through that cancer stuff. She was my girlfriend for, I'm blessed. She's tough. And to be honest about everything, and always run the company like a family, and always give your best without the idea of trying to sell it, just giving your best. And I didn't try to sell anything.
Yeah.
Just
You
always
did
do your
such a
best.
good job. People wanted what
Always
you
do
had.
everything with integrity. Just do everything with integrity.
Yeah, I'll second that, because I mean, here's the thing. I will tell you, and I don't talk a lot about this publicly, but when I first got into the industry, I got sued. And anytime you go into a lawsuit, there's a period of time in which you do what's called discovery. And discovery can get pretty nasty and time consuming. And a lot of times they'll go through your financials. And sometimes they're just going through financials to see if you're hiding money, or if you're treating it, manipulating funds. Because if you're like an LLC or a corporation and there's mixed use of funds, so for example, like you use business funds for personal use and they can prove that, then I'm pretty sure that's called like piercing the corporate veil or whatever. So you lose the protection of the LLC. And so, like Larry says, it's always good from the very beginning to try to do everything that you know of the right way. Do it with integrity, educate yourself, because I know some guys do things that they don't even know. Like I talked to a business owner the other day, and he uses a checking account for everything. And he didn't know. He just didn't know. And so, educate yourself, learn, get a good CPA, have them teach you, and do everything on the up and up. Like that's when I'm interviewing for CPAs, that's like, hey, I am looking for integrity and doing it the right way. I want to pay taxes, which means we're going to take advantage of all the tax laws out there, all the loopholes, all the tax laws. But I want to make so much money that we exhaust all of that and still have a bunch of profit. That's my goal. But I don't want to pay any more than I have to. And I want to do it all the right way. and if they agree and we're on the same page, then I move forward. So luckily enough, I've had a good run of CPAs. But yeah, Larry definitely believes in doing things with integrity, and he showed me that when I was out there, and stressed the importance of that, customer service and taking care of customers and doing it right. And even, I think, even teaching me leave it fair for the next guy coming in. Like, don't screw the next guy. Hopefully it's you coming back to your customer, but if not, all you installers out there, don't be tightening down the set screws too tight on the tube, because you're not a repairman trying to come back out.
Yeah,
So,
and don't polish off the old spring you took down and resell it as new.
we have that here too.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other advice that you think would be good?
Yeah, use the right size spring, because a lot of these guys are using smaller springs and winding them up real tight. So to get a recall in 2 years, I think that's pretty slimy. And there's a lot of training and quality installation that needs to happen.
Yeah,
people are putting doors up
better.
And people, as you well have seen, when you go on jobs, some of these people that are installing doors haven't read the handbook and are trying to put them up, and they're door installers. So I'll help anybody that wants help, learn how to do it right. You're doing the same thing. You look what you're doing. You didn't know anything, and now you're teaching. You're amazing.
Kind of. I teach more of the business side. I mean, what I did learn when I got into the industry was 90% or more, probably like 98% of my competition were installers or technicians who got tired of being led by a bad boss and started their own company and realized it's a lot harder than they thought. And then, they don't really know all the answers to all the questions. And I don't either. This was more of like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I know the business side, I know the marketing and sales side. I can teach some of that, but then I can interview people and learn at the same time. So it's been a blessing, right? I mean, here we are. I've been doing the podcast for almost 3 years, and we've got, like, between YouTube and all of the iTunes and all that, all the podcast distribution, we're, I think, over 60,000 plays, which is stinking nuts for a garage door industry podcast. And when you tell people I've got a podcast, it's garage door industry podcast, they look at you cross-eyed like, what the heck? What do you talk about? Garage doors all day? And I'm like,
I think you asked me to be on this thing for like a couple of years. I go, what are you talking about? What's a podcast?
Yeah.
I never even listened to one.
Well, you did a radio show. I remember that.
And well, that was also simultaneously live TV with the radio show. I did that for a year. I had my own TV station.
And you were good at it.
And no script. And I brought guests on. We talked about business. It was called Off the Wall.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Very funny.
And I didn't know Michael Jackson made a song about Off the Wall. I just did Off the Wall because we were just winging it. Now in California, beware. California has got a lot of tricky little laws and codes and things for business owners.
No way.
Yeah,
Surely not.
You'd never think. Couldn't imagine.
California's caught me a couple of times that I didn't know. I mean, they changed it, and you don't know until you get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I have an HR department now that keeps me in front of it.
That's good.
Nice.
Rules and regulations, my man, cause bigger overhead. It's part of it.
Well, we're all out here justifying paying for everything we're paying this state just because of the opportunity to live here. Like you said, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have not been lying to you for the past 3 years. Larry actually is a real person, and Aaron Overhead Doors, California is the place this all got started. And I did train for 4.5 days and come back and start a company. And Larry is one of the greatest humans on the face of the planet. So
likewise. Thanks, Ryan.
I I'm truly blessed. I could have landed with so many other people in learning the garage door industry. I'm extremely grateful that I landed with you because you taught me right. So I appreciate that.
Someday I'll have to catch up to your technology
Yes.
because I'm still, I'm handwriting everything. This is my service calls.
That's what we do.
Ryan-
When people say bad words.
That's
He's talking
funny.
about using paper to run his business.
Yeah, right. There's my calls I just dispatched. I got it right here.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, it's okay.
Yeah, so-
We're like when I was there, I gained so much respect for him and lost so much respect for him all at the same time. Because I'm a tech nerd. I'm like, bro, you can automate all this, right? Like this is so easy. But this dude's literally, I mean, his phone must go off 100 times a day. And he's literally in the truck on the way to a job, phone's ringing, he's answering, he's got a little notepad, he's writing things down, and I'm just like, dude, how do you keep up with all this stuff? And I quickly realized, just being with him for a week, he didn't keep up with it that great. I mean, there's no way.
Hey, wait a minute.
You did a phenomenal job, but there's still stuff slipping through the cracks. There is no way at that volume that you could have 100% accuracy. It is impossible. And I mean, listen, you're like 98% accuracy, which is pretty stinking good. But I don't know. Like I left there, like I do not know how he does this. There is no way. Could you imagine, Tamara, me running everything off of paper and what that would look like?
No, and it would be so painful for you. Like,
and you.
Oh God.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It would be. Yeah. So I got respect for you because you figured out a way that works for you that I know I could never make happen. I couldn't. It would be impossible for me, but you figured it out.
Well, before this, I was in the AAA towing business, and we did 500 calls a week around here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this kind of stuff, this is like baby stuff compared to that.
You're my hero. He's always positive, dude. He's like, I
love it.
Catch him. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe when he was fighting cancer, he may have had a bad day or a couple, but like, I just don't ever remember calling him or him calling me when he's like in the ill mood. Now I've vented to him a couple of times when I've been in an ill mood, but he's usually pretty good. And he's so annoying too. Cause he's like, that guy that's like, always got the positive answer. Like you just want him to listen and shut up, but then he starts giving you advice that you already know you should be doing to fix the problem. That's him. He'll be like,
I love that though.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I've got diapers. I got plenty of diapers.
Diapers and tissues. All right, we gotta wrap this up. It's starting to get embarrassing. All right. Listen, guys, you hear it right here. Larry Conte, Aaron Overhead Doors, California. Amazing story. I enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us on the podcast, Larry. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like the podcast, make sure you subscribe. Go to our Facebook page. And also, don't forget to check out GDU, GarageDoorU.com. Join the many leaders that are being better leaders every day by joining the group and participating. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Be safe. Have fun. Stay cool. Drink water.